Hey, welcome back everyone. I'm going to get right into the stock market technical analysis. Again, this channel is about finding trade ideas. I try to point out trade ideas before they play out so we can make some profit on it. So that's really what this channel is all about. I'm not really here for entertainment. It's really just about giving you guys the content that you could use to, benefit you in the markets. Again, everything's just my analysis, just my opinion. I can't guarantee any profit or anything like that. But again, we're going to use the charts to be our guide here. So before I get into it, and I'm going to start out with tech, but before I get into it, guys, yesterday I talked about starting a kind of a monthly membership, and I did get a lot of really positive comments and interest in that, so I think I'm going to continue to pursue that. Now, just to give you guys kind of an update, I'm looking at what I can add into there, but ideally I'm looking at including kind of special trade ideas specific for members. Okay, so some of the, I don't have time in my daily videos to go through all the trade ideas that I see. I try to point out good trade ideas here on these free videos, and I'll continue to do that. But again, I'm going to try to get some of those out specific for the members as well. And then also looking to do those live streams. So I've been doing live streams on Saturday mornings, and I'll probably continue to do those, but for the members only. Okay, and maybe every now and then I'll just do a general one for everybody so you can see what they're all about. But in general, looking at doing that just for members. Most of the time I got the same group of folks joining those anyways, and it's kind of the engaged group within this channel. So likely they're going to be members anyways. So that will be there. And then, I don't know. I'm thinking about some other stuff I can do. I'm not interested as of right now in doing day trading live streams or live streams during the trading day where I talk about, where we look at the actual levels. Maybe I'll do that occasionally. I'm not a day trader though, guys. So at the end of the day, I look for key levels to enter positions on, and then we look to swing trade. So, it's not exactly the most exciting day trading activity, but occasionally there's some key levels that we're really close to, and we could do some live streams potentially there. I'm not going to promise that though, that I'm going to be jumping on a daily basis doing live streams. I don't want to dedicate my time like that, at least as of right now. But again, looking at adding some of those things. So I'm going to be setting that up here in the next few days. I got to, spend some time on it, and then we'll see how that goes. Next, guys, if you're interested in learning this as I get into it as a skill set, use my course to your advantage. I put that course together at the request of my subscribers about a couple years ago, and it should really help you hone your skill set, at least act as a baseline knowledge for these videos. So check that out, link in the description below. I think there's a lot of value in that course. All right, so check it out. Finally, drop me a thumbs up if you guys are getting value. Let's get into it. The one thing I want to point out, guys, so triple Qs, this is a weekly chart, and the top of the resistance line still is up there, that 329 area right there. And, we might get up there. I don't know. But if I go down to the hourly on the triple Qs, you can see we continue to build negative divergence. There it is on the hourly, on the RSI, and the PPO. And we continue to make highs, and we're just we're doing this chop action that you often see at the end of moves. So maybe we run up and make a new high, but again, I think this looks to me like we're going to either chop sideways or get a pullback. Today they gapped it down and bid it up, and they just keep chopping it around. So nothing really going on. I'm still short. I'm going to remain short on triple Qs. I'm not adding to it, but I have a full-size position here. Looking for minimum drop down to 308.50. Okay, there's some support down there. We haven't seen that yet, so I think that's the high probability target. And then potentially down to the trend line. All right, this is the rally we've been in. Started back here in June 16th, and you can see all the tags of support. So we could, I think it's likely that we kind of work our way down to that trend line again. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. Maybe right here, this to me looks like a really strong level of support right there at about 296.43, 296.50. You can see the reactions that we had here: resistance, resistance, resistance. So that should be decent support, and then you'll have this upward trend line. So if we come down over time and get in this area, that's really good support. I would look to be covering my short and probably flip for one final move up to this trend line. And if we get there, it'll probably be about 325 at that point in time. That's what I see. One thing that's given me pause, though, on the fact that, well, here's the thing. I think we are going to get that pullback. Let me show you guys something here. Triple QQQE is the tech sector, but rather than having it weighted as with the large FANG stocks really heavily weighting and influencing that, it's equal weighted. So it's the NASDAQ 100, but every stock has an equal weight. And look at this weekly chart. We've got a downtrend line. This is the bear market. And look where we're at right now, right at resistance on the weekly. So I suspect that we, close the week either right here or get rejected at some point this week. It's only Tuesday, so that's it. At resistance on the equal weighted indice. And then if I go to the equal weighted S&P 500, which is RPS, I think, or RSP. Yeah, there it is, RSP, equal weighted S&P 500 on the weekly chart. You can see big support right through here. This was kind of our zone or plateau of support for over a year. And we broke, you got a big breakdown right there on that candle, and boom, back test right there. That's big resistance. So I suspect that we get rejected right here. It's objective to short at this level, basically is what I'm saying. Now, again, intra-week, they're going to chop it around. It looks like they're kind of running it around, running stops, kind of confusing people. But at the end of the day, I think we likely get rejected right in here and make our next leg lower. So that's what I'm seeing in the broad indices. When I go to the FANG stocks like Apple, you see what's going on. On the weekly, boom, we hit major resistance. So there it is. I've got it marked out. This was support all through here. And I keep showing it, but I just, so it's getting messy. But boom, there it is. Big resistance on Apple, the largest stock in the stock market, basically. And then, yeah, that's kind of one of them. Amazon, Amazon had resistance here. You can see on the weekly, we were support right through here. We broke, and boom, we're right there at resistance on Amazon. Microsoft, pretty much at resistance. Here's the downtrend line on the weekly chart for Microsoft. We started resistance, boom, right there, resistance. So it's a weekly chart. So you can have a little bit of fluctuation within the week, and that's kind of what it looks like we're seeing. But at the end of the day, I think we're at the area where we're likely going to get rejected. And so that brings me to the ARC stocks. We're seeing, and I talked about this earlier. Let's go back down to the daily. Starting to see some of these ARC stocks pop and run. And that's kind of what I was thinking is, okay, at the end of this rally, we're going to see these speculative names kind of do their little run, and starting to see that. Now, ARC hasn't, it's kind of starting to break out to the upside. Nothing crazy, but when I look at stocks like Lyft, boom, you've got a big gap up today. Of course, that's right before earnings, so for me, it's just too much risk, but, you have this downward trend, boom, gap up, and that's a breakout. Right there. All right. I'm looking for the divergence. It's not really there. So I don't know. It's a breakout. That it's a buy signal, but the thing is, it's right before earnings. So I don't like it. I think it's probably a trap. Even if it isn't and earnings comes out, it's just not worth the risk from my perspective. But if earnings comes out good, maybe it wants to do a gap fill all the way up here. I just don't like the fact that the major indices are at those resistance levels, and then we're seeing little breakouts right here, right before earnings. Too much risk for me. Here's another one, DraftKings, boom, right, breaking out. Here's resistance right there, 1475. You can see that was resistance through here. There's another one. It was kind of got a reaction right in here, kind of a reaction right there. So that's a key level, and boom, breakout candle right there. Again, right before earnings though. So again, just too much risk to see these breakouts right before earnings with the major indices at major resistance. It's just, to me, it looks like a trap. So not going to bite on that one, even though that is a breakout. So anyways, we're seeing some of those speculative stocks. They're basically trash stocks. They don't make any money. They just lose money. And likely they're going to go a lot lower. Some of them will go bankrupt, most likely. But we're seeing some, speculative money come in and bid those up right before earnings. All right, so maybe that's signaling the end of this rally. That's kind of what I was anticipating. All right, gold. So gold bullion rallying today, but again, getting a little bit of a pullback, and that's mostly because of the dollar. So you'll see the DXY. There's that dollar holding support like I thought right there. Pointed that out yesterday. So there's your trend line. Boom. I figured we get a bouncer, and then I think we'll break. The reason why I think we're going to break, negative divergence. See the momentum right there? It's dropping. It's downtrending, okay? Negative divergence. So I think we bounce here and then break on the dollar, and gold should continue higher. The miners, GDX, trying to break out today, but struggling a little bit. My trend line is probably off just slightly. I could move it like that, just right there, but it's right in the area. Here's the thing. We've got a bullish falling wedge right here. We have bullish divergence on both momentum indicators, and we have what looks to be a breakout or a buy signal. Not impulsive yet. Let's see how the day closes. If the buyers step in towards the end of the day and they bid it up and we can close up around this kind of the highs of the day, then we'll consider that a breakout. And the miners might be front running the move in the actual metal. Okay, so looking, it's constructive. We're looking constructive here in the miners. I think we need to do a little bit more. A little more work needs to be done, but it's looking okay. Okay, this one's kind of interesting. AMD. Now they have earnings after the bell, so obviously it's higher risk. But let me show you what I got on this one. AMD. Big. All right, so you got a big range right here. This was a huge range of resistance, and then it became support right around 98.55 or so. You can see we broke out, and then it was support all through here. It was support. Okay, then you finally broke, and it was resistance, little breakthrough there. But you can see right where we're at right now, right back into that support zone. Equally, you have a downtrend line right here to watch, and it's trading, we're basically going down. They're breaking this thing above the downtrend line right before earnings into major resistance. Okay, so to me, seems like a pretty objective area to short at. Yes, you have the 200-day overhead, so maybe earnings is good and they gap it up to the 200, and that would be a move up to about, that would be a move of about 12.5% up to the 200. But I suspect that they fail it right here and it actually gaps down on negative earnings. Okay, the reason being we're seeing the breakout right before earnings. We're at major resistance. Looking at the hourly chart, it is a divergent high as well. You can see here, look at this price action. You've got negative divergence right there. Let me just kind of mark that out. And then on the PPO right here, let me zoom in to grab that one. This one's sometimes hard to get. Zooming in, you can see, boom, negative divergence. Now, as long as it continues to, as long as it points down, then that would be a confirmed negative divergence. But as of right now, lower highs in momentum, higher highs in price. We have negative divergence. We have a breakout right before earnings, and we have we're trading right into that major horizontal resistance level. So I'm going to take a starter short here, and hope again it's right before earnings, so it's higher risk. So it doesn't make sense to load up, but a starting short position, and then maybe add to it if that goes my way. Okay, guys, that's all I got. Drop me a thumbs up. Check out the stock market technical analysis course, and I will catch you guys on the next one.